Que paso? It's Santi back with another installment of Recognizing the Game. And what I'll be talking about is what I touched on in some previous videos. And one segment in particular was known as the semen retention is red pill. And I want to rehash it and kind of get people into understanding what I mean in terms of like recognizing the game and how semen retention really is red pill, like what red pill really is, because it's a lot of it on social media or what we see from the YouTube stratosphere. It's not really touching on it in terms of how it's not just about semen retention and it's not just about women. It's about this world as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Which I'll be touching on that in further videos. The reason why I say that semen retention is red pill is because for men as early as ages 8, from 8 to 14, or between ages of 8 and 14, pick up on the habit of masturbation. It can be introduced in many different ways, but one way in particular is porn. As we get older, we find ourselves engaging in that habit until it becomes a part of us. You know, society perpetuates it as something normal, and that because we are men, it is natural. And a natural means to releasing one's sexual energy. You know, it is claimed to be a part of self-care and self-love, and it's teaching one to understand, you know, their sexual nature. You know, though masturbation can have that effect of relaxation, because, you know, you're releasing that energy that is being built up, and to a degree it's being suppressed. And because of that energy, there is a tension within the body. So when that happens, if you've conditioned yourself to be used to masturbating on a regular basis, then that becomes a part of you and has become incorporated into your day-to-day routines. What many of us fail to realize is that we can go 10 to 15 to 20 years masturbating 2 to 3 to 4 times a day and not realize that we are rewiring our brain as well as stifling our growth. You know, we're stifling our body's natural evolution into manhood from an adolescent to an adult. So there are a lot of unrecognized negative effects from engaging in this habit in regards to how it rewires our brain and conditions us to perceive sex in a way that is artificial and it's exaggerated. You know, it's based in fantasy and a distorted imagination. So the red pill aspect of it is you coming into awareness that it is a negative conditioning that essentially keeps you in a lower state of being. Because of this, it keeps you from being aware of who you are from within. And when you're looking at society in that transition, when you come into awareness of the negative effects of it, you realize how this was done purposely. It was done with an intent to weaken you as an individual. And in the process of weakening you as an individual, you find yourself at the whims of other systems because you have no rule over your sexual energy. You end up being easily manipulated by the forces around you, and it will negatively affect your relationships. So, you know, semen retention is important to a man's overall understanding of himself and ruling over his darkness. And, you know, understanding what your darkness is something that I'll be speaking on more so, you know, because darkness is the origin of all things. You know, everywhere we turn, there is sex. And, you know, that's done on purpose. It's meant to keep us from being rooted in our being, because when we're aware of the power of our sexual energy and simply retaining it, it makes you less likely to be controlled by external forces. So when you come into awareness as to what is being done to you, you'll start to look at everything in your life, from your relationships to the education system and the media, and how they're dictating us and draining our life force and our energy overall. And our energy is being drained in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So that introspection and that retrospection, what I mean by introspection is going within and looking at yourself. And then in retrospect is when you look back at situations, looking back at experiences, looking back at the past as a whole, right? So, from the time that we're born and as we get older, we're forced to go to school. We spend all day in school and then we come back home to have to deal with our parents, whether it be a mother, a father, or both. Whatever your living situation is, you're never really given the time to figure out who you are. You're always being dictated and told what to do by different entities in different areas of life. So then you go to school throughout the week, and then you're forced to go to church on the weekends, or maybe whatever days that they may have services during the week. So you're forced to go to church, and then you have somebody else telling you how you're supposed to live your life. So semen retention is going to force you to go within and figure out who you really are. And then because of that social conditioning and from never having the chance to really know who you are and deal with your emotional and spiritual body, you find yourself having to face the darkness that has been manifesting from you never having dealt with yourself. You never really having the opportunity to sit and experience yourself as a human being, and that's one problem in the sense that when we're looking at religions and we're looking at all of these institutions are essentially governed from they are surviving and existing because of our mental energy, what we give to it when we participate in whatever purpose that they deem to serve. You feel what I'm saying? So then you become aware of how imbalanced your life is. And this is what we truly mean about, the red pill. You feel me? It's not so much about women. You know what I'm saying? But we got to recognize too that there is a global system at play that is dictating things, that is manipulating people's perceptions of reality and creating constant conflict. And we got to recognize what those systems are, where they come from, and who in particular is doing this. We're not talking about what they call conspiracy theories and things of that nature, because conspiracy theories, the way that they are presented, keeps you running in circles. Conspiracy theories keep you running in circles, and they take your power away and make you feel as though what is going on is beyond your control. You know what I'm saying? We have to really get down into what conspiracy theories are, because they're not, conspiracy theories are nothing but conspired events. That's all that they are. So you will realize, how much time you have been wasting masturbating and how you have been stifling your own potential. So when we're looking at ourselves, we're looking at the society that we live in, we're looking at the world. We're coming to recognize the social construct and the illusion of reality. This is what I mean by recognizing the game.